Hey everyone, Calby Crafts back at you with another video. I know it's been a while, but I'm going to try something new. So with the new Spider-Man game coming out, I wanted to customize my PS5 to match that. Big fan of red and black anyway, so it kind of worked out. Fan of Miles Morales for sure. So what I did with this is I took my plates off, obviously, and I started off spraying them with chrome paint. And then I used a cherry red and black two-tone spray paint, kind of a clear coat. Makes it nice and shiny, looks really cool. Then I, right here, obviously I'm trying to put my spider web on there, Thought it would look pretty cool. As you see, I try a different thing, couple different things, different ways of doing it. I will say I've never done anything like this before, so it definitely took me a couple tries, but I got through it. And just like Spider-Man, I didn't give up, and I just tried until I was happy with the results. So right here, I took it out. I forgot to record, to be honest, me actually spraying it black, but I think we can understand that, yes, I sprayed it black. Issue, what I found here, I guess I didn't prep it well enough, and, and I took my time. It's obviously sped up in the video. I took my time, though, and parts of it still peeled off all the paint and left bare plastic. So it is what it is. Like I said, I didn't give up. I ended up actually, I tried to fix it without having to sand everything down. Didn't really work out for me too well. So I actually ended up sanding it all down and redoing it. So yeah, let's do this one more time. Here I actually recorded spraying it again, same thing. So again, you know what? Let's do it one more time. So I've had a Cricut for years, so I actually had the idea of finding a spider web online, making it to the size that I needed, and finding this very similar kind of red vinyl. And this, in the end, seemed to be way cooler. It took a little bit to make up, but you know what? It was worth it in the end. Right here, I'm just, weeding it, as they say. So yeah, it's it's pretty self-explanatory right here. Right here I'm actually just putting the transfer tape on. I tried this other method and didn't work out, so I ended up just getting transfer tape, spending the few bucks on it. So I found this 3D spider online. Right there you can see that's my finished product. Now it's on to the actual Spider-Man. So with this, I found the file online. Again, I'll put the link in the description if you're interested. I just printed them off my 3D printer, and then I put it all together, sanded it, all that. So I had to fill some of the gaps with some UV resin, and so I did that. Did a bit of sanding on it. That's just how it is. Nothing prints perfectly, so you're always gonna have parts you're gonna have to fix up to blend it in with the pieces and all that. And so that that's what I did and what I needed to do. So right here, I spray painted in black. I have a black suit. So right here, again, I've never done any work like this that has been this much tiny detail, but I used what I had and tried my best, and I think in the end it looks awesome. And so taking it, doing this took hours, but I'll save you the trouble, and I sped it up so you wouldn't have to sit and watch me paint this for like 2 hours. So as you can see here, I went back and painted the white. I ended up actually going back and trying to fix all of the any errors and touch up the lines work and make it look a little better. Then I moved on to what I was gonna have the other side with that Spider-Man. So my vision was to have him on the side of a building, and so I found this file again, some picture online of some brick, and I put it into my Cricut software and made it to where it would look like the brick. And this took like 20 minutes to cut out because I didn't feel like cutting out a bunch of brick. What I ended up doing with this is I peeled it all out, I weeded it, and just to weed this took me like half an hour to do. Again, you know, I'll save you the trouble, speed it up for you. As you can see here, you know, I use that transfer tape again, and I mean that it is pretty awesome. And I stuck it onto the other side, the side that the plate that I wanted to be my brick wall. It took me a little bit to try to line up. I finally figured it out, and it seemed to work out pretty well. Peeling the transfer tape off worked pretty well. You know, a few mishaps here and there, but it turns out that I covered that with the window, which you'll see here in a second, and it worked out perfectly anyway. With this little window, I took a bunch of random pictures that I thought you would see in like a teenager's room, and I put it together and I printed it off on glossy paper because I wanted to make it look like an actual building with a window in it, not just like shiny, you know, like PS3 graphics. I wanted that, you know, that real PS5, you can see through the windows type of thing. I didn't want it to dry, so I peeled off all the template for the brick beforehand and then let it dry like that. And then I actually ended up going back and spraying it with a brick red spray paint to really make it look more like the brick. And for those that are into ASMR, I love the sound of spray paint and the slight rattle of the can. Here you go, the spray painting sequence is for you. And once that's done, that's what it looks like. Now it's time to paint all the grout lines, which again took a while. So again, I will save you the trouble and speed it up. I wish I could work this quickly in real life, but you know, it is what it is. So I just sit there line by line and do it. It was a bit tedious, but it was worth it in the end. finished with that, and here's the final product. That's an idea of what it's going to look like. So I start making the frame, the brick around the window. I just used some craft foam, cut it out. I didn't want it too thick, and yeah, tried to make it look as realistic as possible. Again, I've never really done anything like this, but you know, we you do our best. And so I've watched quite a few videos of various people that I enjoy watching, and so I kind of took some tips from there, and mixed up some goop, as some like to say. Used my fake rocks that I had already set, and tried to make it look like rock, and cut it out to make it look like stone and whatnot. And then I used some glue and some paint to mix it around to basically seal, so when I try to dry brush later and paint, it will adhere better. And then I had to measure out what I wanted to be the top of the building, the stone. Use the same process. I tried to make it look like stone, and then I cut it out because I wanted it to overhang the top of the plate. But this is just like insulation foam that I had laying around for a different project, and so I had to measure it out, make it look like stone, section it off. There I do, make it all look pretty, and I used that same goop process and painted that up. Obviously it's a little dark, so I used some gray paint, mixed some together. Painted it again to make it look a little more realistic, and then I actually end up going back and making it a little lighter because it was a little too dark, and then I put a little black wash on it later on. Now it's time to attach the window, and so I did that with a little PVA glue, and then I made a little window pane, I guess you call it. Used some popsicle sticks and did that, and I think it turned out pretty well. Now it's time to actually attach it. But first, it looked like the brick was a little too uniform, so I went back with some brown paint and tried to vary it a little bit, just so it wasn't so the same and uniform, because not all bricks are the same. Here, I thought the grout was a little too gray, a little too clean for New York, so I went back and did a little wash on that, just some watered down black paint, and it turned out pretty well. And now it's time to adhere the window, so I attached that with some PVA glue. I tried the same with this with the top portion, didn't really work out, so I went back and used hot glue, and lots of it. And then I waited, and then I attached even more to the back so it wouldn't come off. It seems to be holding pretty well, so I'm not too worried about it. And here we go. My little rotating thing didn't work out because the PS5 is way too heavy for that. Alright, I was pretty happy with this, but let's do this one more time. I ended up getting a couple more plates that were already black, and I used that same cutout for the spider web. I ended up adhering the spider to this one. Looked way better than the other one anyway, my previous one, so I wanted to attach it to that. But for this one, I 3D printed the base that I got with that Miles Morales file, and so I painted that up, painted the brick. As you can see, I painted the top part. I had to put it all together. But this time I wanted to try something a little different, so I wanted to make it look like as if Miles was coming out of a comic book page. So I took some random pictures off the internet. I tried to find like the artists' names. Most of them just said Marvel. If you happen to know the artists' names, please leave a comment. I will happily give credit to them in the description. And yeah, I don't. I'm not taking people's, taking credit for people's art. This was not me. I did not draw these up, but I wanted to make it look like he was coming out of the side. So that's what I did. So now it's time to attach. So I used that PVA glue, attached it. It took a couple times to print and get the sizes right and all that stuff, but in the end, I think it looks awesome. If you keep watching, you'll see the end product, and I think it's perfect. So what I did is just took my time gluing each piece, making sure it fit, and then cut it to shape and all that, and making sure that it actually stuck. Here I'm just cleaning up the edges. I didn't want any overhang or anything like that. Then, of course, I had to attach the actual 3D building portion, and I wanted to make it look like it was like popping out of the page. So I kind of scraped it in a way that I could get adhesion to the actual plastic, because I didn't want it falling off. But I also peeled it in a way that it kind of looked like it was bursting out of the page itself. So I scraped the edges around, and then I had to prop it overnight actually to get it to make sure it had a really good stick. And then of course I had to attach Miles here in a bit. Right here, I printed on glossy and all that, but it just didn't, it wasn't like popping enough. So I actually took some of my UV resin and tried it on a scrap piece, and it really made the colors pop, and it also will harden a little bit to make it look just a little more durable, and I think it came out beautiful. It took a bit to dry, but it just looks way better. Here in a minute, I get to the end game, where here it is. I had the beautiful idea of taking my wife's Lazy Susan and spinning it around, and hope everyone likes this. I really appreciate if you stuck around this long. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. See you next time, and thanks for watching.